Hello, I am Sean Moberly, and I'm trying to figure out how to say this. I have said before, the purpose of my channel and doing this is as I learn how to be a better person, right? A better Christian, a better man, a better husband, and a better father. As I learned those ways, I would share them with you. And I'm having trouble putting my thoughts together for this video. As you can see, I'm not at my table. I don't have my guns out. I don't have anything of the sort. This isn't scripted. I don't have a script for this video at all. I'm just saying my thoughts as I'm thinking them. I tried to write a script for this, and I just could not figure out how to put this into words. And so I guess I'm not going to bother trying to be eloquent. My scripted videos aren't eloquent, but there's thought put into them, and I put thought into this, and I don't know exactly how to say it because I don't know exactly what the right thing is. So I guess I'll just get right into it. Seananigans. A man said something, not to me, it was on a podcast, but I was listening to it, and he made the statement, and I disagreed with that statement, and to be frank, I still disagree with that statement. But the statement was, it is a sin to, as a married couple, and of course, outside of a married couple, but, if you're not a married couple, you shouldn't be doing this anyway, but it is a sin as a married couple to have sex when the possibility of life is impossible outside of God's intervention. That is to say, don't use contraception. Don't, say, like my wife is currently pregnant, then it shouldn't be done then, and things like that. And I just kind of laughed it off because I didn't believe it. And I still don't believe that it's a sin to do that. But then I heard another person say something extremely similar, but worded just differently enough that all of a sudden what this guy said made sense. And that is, Jesus is the Lord of our finances. Jesus is the Lord of our lives. We say that he is the Lord of everything we do. We say Jesus is Lord, and we put him in absolute control. Well, he already is in absolute control, but we don't try to wrestle control from him in any aspect, but then we try to take that control away from him when it comes to fertility within a marriage by saying, hey, let's do this and this and this thing to prevent the possibility of a child. And this other guy said, if you are not allowing the possibility of life, if you're preventing life in your marriage, then are you truly leaving Jesus in charge? And is he truly the Lord of your life? If there's any aspect of your life that he's not in complete control over, then is he truly the Lord of your life? And the potential for life in your marriage, your fertility, we'll say, is an aspect of your life. And I hadn't thought about that. And I hadn't been doing that. I've had left Jesus in control of, I thought, every aspect of my life, but not that. There were times, like I said, I have a son and another one on the way, so it didn't always work. But from the beginning of our marriage, mine and my wife's, we were actively doing things and trying not to bring life. From 2017 to when my son was born at the beginning of 2021, almost 4 years, we were actively fighting the possibility of life in our marriage, and we weren't leaving it up to God. And that meant that He wasn't the absolute Lord of our lives, because there was one area that we were trying to take control away from Him in. And, one of the things that I mentioned was one of the requirements that we have as Christians is to live a sinless life. And we know, he that knoweth to do good and doeth it not, to him it is sin. And I realized that, for me at least, it was good to give God absolute control over our lives. And that included, giving Him control over, marital fertility. So am I sitting here saying it is a sin for a married couple to use contraception? Am I saying that? Well, I guess some forms of it, yes. There are some forms that don't prevent conception. And what those do is they allow conception to happen, and they just prevent implantation. And if you believe that life begins at conception, you just killed a baby. So those would be wrong to use. But outside of that, like stuff that actually prevents conception, if you're a married couple and you've looked into contraception, you know which ones those are. There's no need to go into any detail. But if you are preventing that from happening, then you aren't leaving. I wasn't. I'll say that. I was doing those things, and I wasn't, therefore, leaving God in control of my marriage in that way. And in my life, I wasn't letting Him be in control of my life in that way. And so am I saying that it is a sin to use those forms of conception that prevent, or contraception that prevent conception? I'm not going to say it is for you. Philippians 2:12, I believe, says, work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. You make this decision on your own. Anything that is said, everything that I say here is said because I was helped by the knowledge, and I hope you can be helped by the knowledge too. So all I'm going to say is I'm not going to say that that's a sin for you. But I am definitely saying that it was for me. And it's something that I need to do better in. I'm really trying not to... I'm doing my best not to say anything in any kind of detail, because that stuff, marital interactions it's private. It's, between me and my wife what goes on. So that's why, this is a video. This is public. You don't really talk about private things in public, so I'm trying to be as vague as possible. But, yeah, it was. I believe that. Do I believe that I was sinning in doing what I was doing? Really, no, I don't think that. That's kind of the beauty of coming into greater knowledge, being led into all truth by the Holy Ghost, as as Jesus said. Um, there are some things that really they're only wrong and sinful once you get to the point where you have that knowledge, and I didn't until now. So was it sinful for me to do what to live how I was living? I don't believe it was, but it would be sinful for me to continue living in that way. Um, and I guess I wanted to, you know, go out and come out and say this in a video for you guys, because I think it's extremely important that we know this, and I think it's very, very important that every marriage be left open to the possibility of life. Um, I think that's. I think preventing like all the fighting that we do to put an end to abortion and make people stop doing that, I think that's extremely important. But it's just as important that just as the people who were going to have abortion, they leave themselves open to the possibility of life, we married people should also leave ourselves open to that possibility. I think that's only right. Um, if you disagree with me, that's fine. Let me know in the comments and tell me what you think. But otherwise, yeah, that was what's on my mind. It was very scramble-thoughted because I couldn't figure out how to write a script for this. Like I said, I wasn't even at my table. I was sitting on a computer desk with a webcam. But yeah, as always, I'm Sean Moberly, and you're watching My Seananigans.